Hello, everyone. I hope you're well. Let's get right into a conversation here with Tesla. So, we're on this run right now with Tesla, and this is a place of where are we going to land? Now, obviously, the market's ran to incredible growth here, and we're seeing some consolidation. But even when we saw this recent sell-off here on Tesla on May 12th here, we had sell-off, but then we had a rebound back into this 430 zone. Now, with this is going to be a little bit of an odd moment here in the market because we've got a new Fed chairman coming up. Not only that, we've got NVIDIA quarterlies coming up next week. So this will be a place of where we could have a lot of chop in the market to be expected. But I think too, kind of the jig is up with Tesla. I think Wall Street is starting to show what they're going to do. I think retail is showing what they're going to do. And I think for long-term, short-term, long-term, however you want to put this, I think Tesla is going to be the biggest bang for your buck, 100%. We've seen this time and time again, and I think we're definitely changing the narrative of what's going to happen here. I'm going to be completely honest. As someone who is trying to buy as much Tesla as I possibly can, I am hopeful, but I'm going to be honest, I'm a little doubtful that we will more than we're just not going to be buying Tesla anymore at this 380, 370 zone. That could be done. It just could be gone at this point because we're getting closer to this moment of the market could run. We're getting to a moment where Tesla is getting to a place of where there's a lot that's going to start happening fundamentally with this company. But the biggest is that SpaceX, when it IPOs here, potentially within the next 40 to 60 days, more than not, if you're buying Tesla, you're buying SpaceX for the future because it's been pretty much made clear that SpaceX and Tesla, Elon wants them under one house here, under one roof. And by 2027, 2028, they could just merge together as one big company. Now, more than not, the Tesla name will stay on the market or the stock market. But, if you're holding Tesla, you're holding SpaceX, your shares will just merge into one at that. So this is why I think for short-term, long-term, you're buying multiple things here just with Tesla. You're buying into two different companies, but potentially more than that. But Tesla alone here, you're buying so much more when it comes to a company that has many different streams of revenue. And within the next 3 years, this is going to be a place of where, people that are doubting that Tesla cannot get everything up and running here altogether at a very fast pace, this could be a mistake. It really could be. So I think just with the general consistency of how we've seen elements play out in the market, this might be a place of where, we see a feeding frenzy start to show up here with Tesla, where $500 is not that big of a deal with Tesla. And this is why I'm so bullish and so at this mindset that, by 2027, deep into 2027, we're going to have Optimus essentially out. It's going to be taking up a lot of the news media. It's going to be a place of where we start to see revenue filter in, robotaxi, autonomous vehicle uses more. There's many different elements that are coming in here with Tesla. So I do think that deep into next year, Tesla could be an $800 to $1,000 stock. This is nothing shy of what Cathie Woods is even saying. She's been very aggressive on SpaceX and Tesla, what she believes these companies are going to be. But imagine that. I know I've said this, but imagine holding Tesla for the next, couple years, and maybe even next year, we just see them merge into one company. It would be the biggest thing in the history of the stock market, 100%. Not to mention just the IPOing of SpaceX here soon is going to be massive in the trillions. But when you see both these companies become one, and what that looks like, just to even hold a handful of shares of either one of these companies, Tesla being the one that I probably want to hold more than anything, that it's going to be radical for people's portfolios. It's going to be something that many people have never experienced in the market whatsoever. Looking at a checklist right now of what you're buying into with Tesla right now, this is why I do think it is the best short and long-term stock play for anyone right now. Robotaxi. Robotaxi is already going into huge huge cities right now, and it's spreading like wildfire. You've got the situation of Optimus. What does Optimus look like? Within 10 years, do people still consider Tesla a car company, or is it a robotic company? Is it a space company? Is it all of the above? Is it just something that we cannot even fathom what we're looking at? You've got Tesla Semi. The series production is expected to ramp up through late 2026. That's around the corner. We've got new gigafactories being built as as you're sitting there listening to me speak. These are things that are just happening behind the scenes that, big retail and, Wall Street are paying attention to with Tesla, and more than not, they're trying to buy up more of it right now. You've got the Redwood vehicle. That's something that is going to be very interesting when that comes to play. We've already had it obviously be delayed, but when it happens, and it's going to be very good for the company. And just the next Roadster too. That's going to be something that's just going to be ate up by Tesla. People that are obsessed with Tesla vehicles. But really, Optimus and Robotaxi are something that is very unique and very special. But to aligning with that is the fact of when SpaceX comes to market, how the sister company here react to each other. What do they run? And so when we look at high performing stocks, companies that are bringing in mass revenue, everyone immediately looks at Microsoft. They immediately look at Nvidia right now. But think about what 2030 looks like for Tesla. Is Tesla at that point? Are there many cylinders firing at once here? The car production, the Robotaxi, what is that looking like? Tesla Semi, the new Roadster, and by that time frame, I'm sure they were already been or about to be new Cybertruck. And two, Optimus. What does Optimus look like by 2030? Is there a new version of Optimus coming out or about to come out? That is something that I just think that it's hard to really price in. But really, in two, SpaceX aligning with Tesla, them being under one roof here, is this a place of where we're talking about a company that's bringing out, anywhere from $60 to $100 billion in revenue per quarterly? You really got to push this into something that's really hard to believe, but it is this place of where you're looking at one company to rule them all 100%. And this is why short-term, long-term, the short-term may look like long-term investing for a lot of investors with Tesla. What people may be buying into this year will be gains that people wait 15 to 20, 30 years for in stocks. This is why this word generational investing is so what you could be looking at with Tesla right now. Even if you're able to, just buy up 10, 20, 30 shares this year, and that's a lot of money, 100%. But it is a place of where, this could really, you're talking stock splits, you're talking incredible revenue, and just even pushing this conversation in past 2030. What does 2035, 2040 look like? You're probably talking about multiple stock splits within that because of the feeding frenzies that have taken place. This is just a really, really wild place to think about what Tesla looks like. So with all that, I really do wish all of you the best of luck. Really look at Tesla as one of the best savings account. If anything, don't look at it as like, I don't know if it's going to work. It's going to work, but look at this as a moment too, as put the money in there, walk away, but keep the money going in and don't take it out, because you are investing in something that the world has never seen. No one in the stock market has ever gone through what investors are about to go through with Tesla. It is going to be such a radical moment, what we're about to see here for investors. So take care, everyone. Best of luck.